So, hello again. Glad to see you back. So let's move on with our next speaker, a very interesting one. So our next speaker is Vidya Müller from Women in AI community. She is an ambassador there, and she is going to speak about the role of women in this huge industry, artificial intelligence, and what they are doing and what, let's say, the future of women in AI. Let's welcome her. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so hi everybody. My name is Vidya. Just call me Vidya, that's fine. I'm really excited to be here today and talk a little bit about women in AI community that I myself am part of. And seeing by the women quota here, I think we are doing fine. But unfortunately, if you reflect on the AI community, that's not I don't know how many feel that women are represented well in AI field. Yeah, women are not represented well in AI field, and I'm just going to talk about this community, which I think, as a supporter, also men are invited to join. And for all the women sitting here in front of me, I would also expect that you join and help, advance our cause. So a little bit about me. How do I start? So I think it's important for me to explain a little bit about my complete, you can guess, I'm an Indian person. I was born and brought up in India, but probably I should tell you I was born in slums in India. So in a very different atmosphere than what you are probably used to in seeing in Germany. I was born in slums. My mother and my parents come from a very backward region in India, and my mother can't read and write. So, but still, my parents instilled in me this, that I have to learn, and I was good at school, and somehow you see what happens when you're good at school. You do land up abroad sometime. And I'm the first woman in my whole family who came abroad for studies, actually, who graduated as an engineer in Pune, the city of Pune, and which is called Oxford of the East, by the way. And I had a chance to come for a master's course to Germany, and since coming for a master's course, which was long time back, I'm here, and I'm now a German myself. So yeah, just to give you a little bit about my background. And that's why I think there is something about, not activism, but there is something in me which says, that women are underrepresented in so many things. And my field of work is right now AI, and that's why I'm working as an ambassador. I don't get any money for it. It's just voluntarily. But I feel good that I'm doing something good, because that's why, I wanted to give you some backdrop about my life so that you know why I'm here and I'm standing in front of you, asking you to support more women in AI. Yeah, about our community, Women in AI. This is, so before I start, Women in AI is a non-profit organization. And the most important purpose of this organization is to reduce the gender gap in AI and AI-related fields. I also say data science and so on, related fields. Because if you really see, how many women do you think, what is the quota of women who are right now machine learning engineers in the world? What do you think is tell me a number. Like, let's say 100%, so from this 100%, how many are women? How much? 20? Oh, you are quite optimistic. So women, in the tech force, like in Amazon, Facebook, Google, 20 to 22% women are represented in tech jobs. I say tech jobs. But if you come to AI, and it goes down and down and down, and it's like, I don't know, 8 to 10% as machine learning, in machine learning field. So it's quite less, really. Or don't you see that that's a problem? Problem or not problem? I think it's a problem. You know why it's a problem? Because anything you build, an application, a service, which has something to do with data inside it and which has to do with some algorithms. Unfortunately, if you don't have women on the team, it will be biased. It will be biased because the algorithms are biased, because the people who are programming the algorithms are mostly men, mostly white. If you don't have women at this table, what will come out? I think there are so many examples. I don't know even where to start. Take, for example, the face recognition software, I think, which Facebook and even Microsoft had some couple of years back. It didn't recognize faces of people with darker skins. Or, I don't know, I mean, there are so many examples. I don't know, I mean, do you know any bias examples?
Hey, Simona, SAP. We had at SAP resume matching. So resume matching is an algorithm that is helping matching the job posting with the resume of a person. And job matching is the sister or the brother, not to be, not to be discriminating here, the sister application which is matching the job posting for the recruiter with the candidate profile. And this particular example is very, very easy to be biased, right? What actually it is doing a ranking, a classification. Of course, it's not from ethic point of view, but also from legal point of view. An algorithm cannot take a decision, especially in such a important matter. However, imagine that you have a job and you have like 100 people posting there, and that you have an algorithm which is ranking them from 1 to 100. What will be the chance that you look on the one ranked on 100, either on the one ranked on 50? Right? I mean, the full purpose of the algorithm is to match these profiles, this CV, accordingly with the job requirements. Now, if you do not train that algorithm properly, and if you have the smallest bias, including in the training of the algorithm, you'll have a very sexist algorithm actually there. And it's not only sexist, it can be also, I don't know, whatever kind of religious biased, race biased, so can be sexist, racist, and whatever. That it's...
Very good example, Simona. And I mean, I can go on counting you examples in the criminal justice reform. For example, do you guys know that in America, for example, most of the people who end up incarcerated, they are blacks, black people or minorities, yeah? I mean, more than the white people. So even if you train the algorithm on the same data, you know what will happen? More black people end up in jail. So such kind of, it's so much bias in data bias, in the algorithms bias, the whole systems, how they are produced is bias. And so I say we need more women at the table, yeah, to make those decisions. And that's why I'm really happy that Women in AI is working exactly towards this cause. The Women in AI has been selected, I think, in the European Union as one of the AI projects, so they get some funding and so on from the EU. Don't ask me. They are doing quite well, I think, but they were also complaining about the EU, that everything is so bureaucratic. These are the founders. I know two of them personally with whom I have worked. So Mujan, Caroline, I have worked with both of them. With Hanan, I haven't worked directly. And these three women from Paris, I don't know why it was in Paris that they started this, but it came from Paris and it has now grown. So right now we have like 2,500 members and 90 plus countries. Not bad, right? I don't know all the names of the countries. It's like amazing from where the women come. And we have 28 ambassadors, including me, your humble ambassador for Frankfurt. We are looking for an ambassador for Munich. So if you have some great women dynamic, just, you can recommend them to me. Yeah, what are our activities? So we have a community. The community is at the core of everything that we do. We try to, you know what we are trying to do with all this why talk and why on stage and why go and whatever. What we are trying to do is to give women more presence at on the stages. To be just like me, just like Simona, and later like Nadine, she will be presenting. So to have more women speakers, because it's really, if you see in the tech conferences, what do you think is a proportion of women who are presenting? And what is a proportion of women who are actually there at the conferences? I was at the NVIDIA conference and they were struggling to get more women there. So I know that that's a big, big problem. Well, these are our ambassadors. As I said, I know most of them, and I'm really, really lucky because these are really great women who are trying to advance our cause. Yeah, as a women in AI group, of course, we share some values, and most important for us is this diversity, inclusiveness, that we support each other, that we share with each other and empower each other and so on. I mean, that's what you expect, right? I think it's a normal women's group will also do the same. Yeah, so for everybody here present, please join womeninai.co. I mean, go on womeninai.co and you can register. And then you get some perks. So there are some events that we organize, like I myself organized, I think, okay, I wanted to just talk about, we have a Slack. Like every startup, incubator, accelerator, I don't know, big programs, we also have a Slack, and our members, they talk to each other, they exchange. So you can have job postings there, especially companies looking for women talent. And it's very difficult to get women at the jobs because there are so less, and so at least the members are helping each other. There are some other perks as well, so speakerships. So we try to, as I said, we try to encourage more women to go out and speak on stages. And it's really a good, if you want to build your profile, it's not bad, I think. And it's like, we are organizing some fun things, and I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, so that's what I said. So we really help women to be presenting on stage and to, how do you say, to put some glitter on their profile, or I don't know, glance on their profile. Yeah, this is just one of the formats that we use. Y-Talk is like a meetup in the evening. So we try to get companies to sponsor that meetup, so they provide the space, and then some perks like food, and some, of course, most importantly, the beer and wine has to be there. And then we invite 3 women speakers. There might be a keynote, there might be later a panel, and so on. But it's just a nice format, I think, to get started and get women in AI, and that we want more women to join and not to be afraid of AI. Yeah, so this was in Sydney, Cambridge, Paris, there are so many. And I myself organized this year 2 meetups in Frankfurt, so I'm mostly active in Frankfurt area. I organized in April at P&G, at Procter & Gamble, and then I organized at InfoMotion. It was a really nice, I got really great feeling, because the women that came there, they were like, okay, by seeing me, who is, as I said, I have this background, and somehow I think it helps and tells other women, don't be afraid, you have nothing to lose, go, do it. And I think that was what comes out. I mean, somehow I'm really feisty in that way, so I do encourage women to, not to be afraid of whatever they're, wanting to do. Yeah, I mean, this is our educational format. I haven't tried it myself, but I think it's quite good, because you can do this. I think the courses that they're offered with Y2Go are also for schools and for school kids, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, and we launched this year award for Women in AI Awards. It was held in Paris, I think on the 4th of March. Unfortunately, my startup, which I'm working on right now, was too young for applying. And there was a prize, and this was, 26th of March, they announced a prize, and yeah, it was great. I mean, there's not so many startups which are founded by women, and yeah, they celebrated that. Oh, yeah. Apropos, what I'm working on, I'm also trying to be a social entrepreneur. So I thought, I'll take a chance to pitch it, because I'm looking for a co-founder. I don't know, this atmosphere looks like to me good of very many people who are maybe, could fit. So I thought I'll just take the 2 slides and pitch it. And let's see if anybody has interest, please connect with me. So I'm working on a social engagement wallet. So what I want to do, so this is an app that we are building. Because I say companies are doing CSR, right? I mean, corporate social responsibility, but it's only done by some few people, like the CEO or maybe the foundation manager and so on, or some people in the department. And it's like, if you look at the company called like SAP, they are spending like 22 million on this, yeah? And who takes the decision? Probably only some few people. And I want to democratize the CSR. So what I'm trying to do with Givetastic is we want to encourage that companies give some part of the budget to their employees. So they divide the budget within the whole employee segment, you can say, and everybody gets like 30 euros, 50 euros, whatever, and then they can start giving to causes that they care about. So that, everybody, it's a Demokratisierung, or how you can say in German, of your budget. And every employee gets that budget, and then we do tailor-made recommendations for that employee based on their interest and their profile. This is the matchmaking part. So we are then going to match them with NGO projects, fundraisings for the NGOs, events, meetups, videos, podcasts, whatever. And the app looks like this. So it's a very simple app. So let's say Claudia in the middle, she can select, she's the employee of some company, and she can select causes that she cares about, like refugees or water. And then she will be matched to content which is really fitting to what she wants to support, as I said, like NGO projects or whatever. And she has a wallet, right? So she has a wallet for money, which the company gave. Maybe the company also gave some hours. So company said, okay, every year we give our employees 30 hours or whatever, and they can do some social work. So the skills wallet, and we are adding things to the wallet. We are adding CO2 savings, which can be also part of the wallet, and data wallet. So the company can have this kind of wallets, which they can do with us and give to their employees. So the employees can start taking part, and they get social points. And that the whole social engagement is reflected in the score at the end, and yeah, whatever. It's a lot of gamification. It will be a lot of fun to do it. But right now we are starting with MVP. So I'm searching for a co-founder, if there is one here in the near. Okay, coming back to the Women in AI again, we are organizing a cool summit this year. I mean, this is the first time where all the ambassadors, I don't know, from San Francisco, from Sydney, I don't know, so many countries, from Pakistan, from India, from Indonesia, from South America, some countries like Brazil and so on. They're all coming together to Lisbon this year on the 29th of November. And we are going to network, and we are going to be there for a couple of days. So that's a perk, right, to be in a Women in AI group. So think about it. I think I'm done. Yeah, that's my last slide, yes. But I'm willing to take your questions. Thank you. Yeah. If anybody has a question. I don't know if I have run over time. No, we have 7-8 minutes. Yeah, Simona.
Not really a question. It's a ask, actually. And ask it's especially for the men here around, because we are speaking about women in AI. I'm also part of that community, not yet ambassador like our colleague here. We actually need you there. I mean, of course, the community is in the support of the women in AI, but as we discussed, we are very, very little in this community. And for example, me, in my case, without the support of my husband, I will never be here. So I really need every single man's support to help us supporting and infusing a bit of more talents, women talents in AI and in tech. I'm also part of the Women in Tech group. And as my colleagues say, it's already a subset. So AI, it's either a subset of the tech. So if in the tech we are like 20%, in the AI we are less than 10%. So I would really appreciate any of you that can provide us any support in this organization. Thank you.
That's very well said, yeah. I mean, why do I need to use the mic, by the way? It's like, yeah, please.
Based on what Simona said, so I want to understand, do you have concrete pain points, or you're just kind of like a general support in the AI, like technical support? So what's your pain point, the concrete task that you want to solve now?
It's a good question. First, we want to give women more presence. So if you're organizing, hosting something, then I would request all the men here to think about getting some women speakers. So that would be like one way to do it. The other is, I don't know, I mean, what do you think? What could you offer us? Like, of course, to give more opportunities for women to be to show their skills. That's what was one thing. The second is, if you have a job posting in the next, say, 3 months, 6 months, think about also reaching the women candidates and trying also to see if a woman maybe also fits a job. I mean, that would be also good. And I don't know, I don't want to start with recruitment. I think recruitment processes are very biased normally, because people tend to get people on board who are similar. So it would be also good not to know that there is a bias, inherent, because we are all human beings, we all have bias. And so be open to that kind of that when you take the decisions, you or your company or anybody. Excuse me? Recruitment is, so just like Simona said, she wants to reduce the gender gap in her company. So in Women in AI, the community, the nonprofit, wants to have more women represented in all AI jobs. So that's exactly what we are trying to do. So that women are not scared on one side, so we want to, as I said, we are feisty and we want to get more women on board. And on the other side, we want to make it clearer to all the men sitting here who are supporters that, hey, think about when you are recruiting or when there are positions open, also for speaking. This is like a small thing. Speaking is not so, for conferences or something, now it's now a part that you get women speakers, right? Otherwise it looks like there is no diversity or something. But when you are approaching this kind of things where you have to make HR decisions to make sure that the men know that there is a bias, and to try to somehow, try to not fall in that trap. Thank you so much. It was my pleasure talking to you all about women in AI. I hope I could help in a little bit. For all the women, please join the community if you can. It's free, of course, and you will help other women. And now I'm finished with my presentation, and the next presentation goes ahead. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, dear Vidya, for your nice talk. I guess this is really a hot topic for further discussion. So we have really bunch of time after talk, so we can network and talk about this.
Many thanks to all of you for sharing this day with us. This year's Munich AI Summit was devoted to the role of women in AI. Looking forward to Munich AI Summit 2020. See you next year.